Not a toolbox tour, tool review, number whatever. I'm not keeping track of the numbers. These are 1/4 inch. I think it's 5 mil through 13 or something like that. 15, okay. So you got 5 mil here all the way through 15, and they're just 1/4 inch sockets, right? Nothing special about them. They're pretty special, and let me show you why. If you look in, you see that little shiny, is it kind of brass color? Or it's, well, brass and then silver. These are magnetic sockets. And what I mean is they'll hold your nut or your bolt in the socket so that it doesn't fall out. Not such a big deal when you're putting something back together, right? I've shown before you can get a little tissue, jam the bolt in, you put it in, no problem. Where these really shine is when you're taking something apart. Like let's say you're taking a fuel rail off or something, and you've got the intake off, and you definitely do not want to drop that 10 mil nut down the intake into the motor. That's where you want to grab one of these. As you unwind it, that 10 mil, it'll stick to the socket and you won't drop it. Really cool idea. I wish they may make a deep one. But even if they did make a deep one, I've come across times where you're trying to remove a 10 mil nut and the freaking stud's this long, and obviously this doesn't work. But you can back it out and then switch to this socket, which is a little bit of a pain. I wish they made a real deep version of this where the magnet was recessed way up in, which would have also would have an issue if if you use that on a shallow. Right, so say you got a magnet way down here and you're using it on a shallow, the magnet's never going to grab the nut, so it would kind of defeat the purpose. But I still wish they made one where the magnet was recessed way in, because if you knew what you were doing, you'd know when to use it, and when not to, right? So yeah, really cool. Not so great for nuts that are on long studs, but bolts and regular little 10 mil nuts and things like that, fuel rail stuff, no problem. These got it. Definitely for removal, a great little tool. Again, going back in, there's other ways to do it where you don't need to spend the money on this, but this was not. I think this was $40 or 30 something dollars, and Sunex is a great brand. These will last you forever. Hopefully the magnets, keep working on them. I use the 8 and the 10 mil the most, so you can imagine, working around engines and things like that. Those are the two you're gonna end up using the most. If you're working on Japanese stuff, 12 mil too. Yeah, again, depending on what you're doing, possibly 14. Yeah, the little ones, I never use 5 mil or anything like that. To really, 8, 10, 12, 14. Probably all you need, but good to have the set, just in case. And yeah, they work great. They do their job. They really do hold the sockets, or sorry, the nuts and bolts in there. I've used these a lot on small engines, like I fixed a few weed whackers, or strimmers, or weed whackers, whatever you're gonna call them. And I also fixed a chainsaw a couple of weeks ago for one of my neighbors, and I used this on it, and yeah, fantastic. You're not gonna lose anything, and there's not a lot of room when you're working around them small engines like that. So yeah, definitely recommend, but more of a nice to have than a necessity. So Sunex, I'll get the number and I'll stick it in the description. I threw the boxes away, so nothing has the part numbers. All right, on to the next one.